Okay, in this video we're going to look at how you can make adding easier by breaking the problem up over 10. And let's do an example problem so that you can see what I mean. Let's take the problem 8 plus 7. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you a picture that will help us to do the problem breaking it up over 10. Here I have 8 green apples and 7 blue apples, and hopefully you recognize these 10 frames that they're sitting in. We're going to use those a little bit later to help us solve the problem. Now, we might say, if you didn't know the strategy, you could count up from 8. So I could say, well, I already know that I have 8 apples here, and so I could continue counting 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and you could use your fingers to help you keep track as you count it, and you could say, well, 8 plus 7 must be 15. But with this kind of problem, there's an easier way of doing it, and that's if you break the problem up over 10. Now let's take a look at this 10 frame here, and notice that it's almost full. There's only these 2 spaces that are missing. So what if I took this apple and moved it up here, and this apple and moved it up here? I'd get a picture that looks more like this. Now, by moving those 2 apples, what I've done is I've made an easier problem. Here I have 10 plus 5, and I still get the same answer because I haven't changed the number of apples, I just moved where they were. Now you might say, oh, you know what, that makes a lot of sense with the pictures, but I can't draw all those apples every single time. Well, let's take a look at how you could do this just with the numbers. So if I go back to my original problem, which was 8 plus 7, I would start with the 8 and say, well, I don't know what 8 plus 7 is, but I do know that if I take 8 and I add 2, I'm going to get 10. I still haven't added the full 7. If I've only added 2, that means I need to add 5 more. So in my head what I think is, well, 8 plus 2 is 10, and I still need to add 5 more to add a total of 7. So the final answer is 10 plus 5, which is 15. And if you practice this method of breaking up over 10, you'll find that a lot of addition problems are a lot easier to do this way, especially when the numbers that you're adding, like 8 and 7, are kind of big numbers. So I hope you give it a try, and use pictures if you find that it's a little bit difficult to do with numbers at first.